I want to help tell you a story. Hi, I'm K Got Memes, and I've had enough of seeing hardworking, talented individuals go unseen and unheard in the industry for far too long. So I created this show. I created this show with the sole purpose of documenting those on the rise. I want to use my storytelling skills to help broadcast your skills. I'm looking for creatives. I'm looking for underdogs. I'm looking for people with a voice and a vision. And if you think that's you, your friend, your deli guy, then DM at KGOT Films if you're interested. Let's get you on the show. Let's make them see us. Let's make them hear us. Because I promise, this is just the start. Welcome back to another episode of Just the Start with K Got Memes. I'm your host, K Got Memes, and today I'm joined by a lovely singer, Rayna Matiaz.
Hey!
I think, it's time to let the people know what's going on. You are a amazing singer, amazing songwriter. You write your own songs?
Mm-hmm, I do.
Okay, and I really want to get into it. But, just overall, your music, I really appreciate. I play it the most out of the great thing.
The two songs.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, because it's it has substance, and I want people to know about your substance, about where it comes from. So
thank you.
When did you start making music?
I started making music. Okay, well, releasing and publishing music. I've been doing that for 2 years.
Yeah.
I released my first song August 2023. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. But 2 years, I've only released 2 songs because, school and everything. Yeah. But I think, if you want something done right, you gotta nurture it, appreciate it. Yeah. So I take my time, but
yes. Yeah. The first songs that you have out, are those the first songs that you've recorded in general?
Yes and no. Okay, so there's this funny story. A few years ago, I had a friend. We met at work. Yeah. And I remember he was like, "Oh, I make music." And I was like, "I want to do that too." And he was like, "Do you have anything?" I was like, "Are you kidding me? I write songs all the time." I did not.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I went home, I went home and I wrote one song. And that was the first thing I ever released. That was Forget Me Not. And since then, I've written, a million. But because, it's either expensive or I just feel like I'm not ready to put that part of me out. Okay. I have a lot of songs between Forget Me Not and Never Thought About It that have been made into demos or recorded but just haven't been released or edited or anything like that.
Hearing your thought process now, it's very easy to understand why the 2 specific songs, they sound it doesn't sound like it's your first song. That if you had music somewhere else, on a different streaming service, and you just happen to take it down, I'd understand that. But you made sure it sounded perfect, exactly. I'm assuming the way that it was in your head.
Kind of, yeah. My issue that I feel like I've had with the past 2 songs that I'm trying to make sure doesn't happen with this next release is with Forget Me Not and with Never Thought About It. I was just in this state of, when you make something, you eventually, if you look at it or if you listen to it too long, you're just like, oh my God, this is the worst thing I've ever made in
just
my
to start
life.
1 through 6.
Yeah. So with Never Thought About It, I was like, I don't want to listen to this ever again. I need to release it because I promised everyone I'm already putting a song out. So there, it's out in the world. You guys can have it. And now I listen back to it and I'm like, okay, I did my big one. Yeah. But yeah, I feel even though I try my best to make sure it's how I want it in my head, there's always a way that I can improve,
I guess, when did you realize that you could make, this sound of music? When was it, because you go into the booth, or, even, your friend, you said, your coworker, he's like, oh, do you have any music? When did you find your sound in that process, or did you always know what type of music you wanted to make?
I think I'm still finding my sound. I feel like every time I write a new song, I joke about this with my engineer. I go into the booth, I sing something, and I come out and I'm like, that sounds nothing like the last one. And that's why making something like an EP or an album is just so far out there, because I'm like, oh, nothing I make sounds the same. But I think that's the beauty of it. I'm trying to find my sound, but also I don't think I have to stress about getting there. It's like I'm having fun where I am. So the genre of music that I make right now, I can categorize it as indie, but even then it's just like, I don't know, I feel that is such a broad term where it's like I can just play with it and be like, yeah, I'm alternative. And what?
And what? Who's gonna say anything? And you know, the concept of genres is literally like just to create like the boundary.
Yeah.
But I feel like I just like music, and I think music is based off, like I view music as feeling and how it makes you feel versus what it like, how everyone structures it. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I could just listen to everybody says they can listen to everything, so I'm not even gonna.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do you think where you're from has any like influence like specifically on your sound or anything?
I think.
Or your work ethic?
I think at first I wanted to try to mix, because I'm Mexican, my family is Mexican, and I want to always try and honor that. Yeah. But it's hard because I don't really speak Spanish. Yeah. So even when I wrote my first song, I had to have my friend kind of like correct me because I was like, this is right, right? And he was like, oh, Rayna, ooh, go back to class, bro. My God. But I don't know. I think in terms of sound, maybe not even just ethnicity-wise, but I'm from Queens. I have grown up on pop. My family are really big fans of music. They've surrounded me with music my entire life. So it's just nice being able to kind of put that all together. Yeah. Even if, you know, I think eventually I would love to make more Spanish music, but I don't know. I just kind of playing it.
Is that kind of the story behind like Forget Me Not, like you jumping in between? That's the name of the song, right?
Yeah.
That's the jumping in between both languages.
Yeah. So is there a story behind it?
Yeah. Is that like where it comes from? Because you said that you don't speak like a lot of Spanish, and the song has some Spanish and some English.
Seen you running around solo. Now I follow where you go. Baby, this is a game I don't know how to play. Can we please take things slow?
It's a little bit of both. I think the music that I was listening to at the time was like the Marias and some of the other artists that I was listening to. They were able to blend English and Spanish so beautifully. And I think actually, this is a really big part of it. Okay. So, in the second verse of Forget Me Not, there's this line that is translated, and the verse is, or the line starts with "Por qué me haces falta," which I don't know if you guys speak Spanish.
Not an ounce. Not even not a crumb.
So, "Por qué me haces falta," directly it translates to "I miss you," but when you speak Spanish and are able to translate it to English. I remember I found out about this phrase through a partner of mine because I was Mexican and they were Ecuadorian. And I say I miss you in Spanish, like yo te extraño, but they say me haces falta. And that, if you pick it apart and translate it, instead of just being I miss you, it means like a part of me is missing, kind of, roughly. And I just remember hearing that and thinking that was so beautiful. And I remember when I was writing the song, that was where it started from. I was like, oh, ¿por qué me haces falta? Why are you missing from me? And it just went on from there. But I knew I couldn't write a song completely in Spanish because I was like, oh, I'm going to get X, Y, and Z wrong. Yeah. So it was like a back and forth.
Speaking of, you said the Marias that you were like listening to at the time. What are some of your influences, songwriting, or just some of your favorite artists to listen to that gets you inspired? Right
now, it's gotta be Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, Kesha. Kesha's a really big one. Yes, Kesha.
Okay, this is a little sidebar, but does she drop right now? Has she been making music or
something? I have no idea.
Okay, so you've listened to old Kesha. I'm down. All right.
It's like the 2000s, 2010s music. I'm honestly not gonna lie. Like, I don't think a lot of the music that I listen to is like when it drops. A lot of the time I go back and I grew up on the radio, so I was listening to I Wanna Go by Britney Spears. The newest release that I have out is heavily inspired by Telephone by Lady Gaga, and I think Blow by Kesha, because they have this really They have a lot of parts in the song where they're able to like cut it up, and it's kind of like a glitch. And I remember 8-year-old me thought that was the coolest thing on earth.
Yes.
I was like, no way, she can sing like that. They don't, but
The internet works very hard.
yes, they do. But yeah, it's gotta be them. If not, you know, Tyler, SZA. I think you can find it everywhere.
Oh, well, I want to ask about the inspiration behind, like, what's the story behind that song?
Oh my gosh.
I really, because T.
Yeah, okay, guys. Word to the Wise is coming out June 6th. Put it in your calendars. Put it in your little Google Planner. You know, make sure you stay up or don't. It might be released at 2 p.m. I haven't decided yet. Long story short, right? When I was writing Word to the Wise, originally it was a completely different song. I wrote it 2 years ago to this different track that I found. It was originally going to be called Paranoia, and it was just the chorus. And it was about this story, or not this story, it was about this like little scuffle that I was having with a girl. This whole thing happens where, you know, like she doesn't like me, and I'm like, you know what, that's totally fair, that's totally fine. 2 years ago was not my brightest moment, right? And I'm thinking, you know what, like, you don't have to like me, that's okay. I completely understand. I'm just not gonna meddle in it because I'm trying to remove myself from that. And at one point in time, I remember I was scrolling on TikTok when I get like a little notification because I had commented and she had replied to it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, weird, whatever. And I looked at her profile because, you know, like I'm sorry, I can't resist temptation. I look at her profile, and the first video she had posted was like a diss on me, but it was like she had worn the exact same outfit and used the exact same song, the exact same like movements, and I was like,
no.
Oh, okay.
And poor thing, you're so demented. You can't tell, you look so desperate. The only time you get complimented is when you replicate my aesthetic. So check, refresh.
And so ever since then, you know, I'd like to think that I've grown from that and that they're doing better as well. But I remember at the time I was just so irritated because I was like, what are you doing? What's going on? And then, yeah, so I wrote the song, I let it go. And, you know, I think over the period of your life, you're always going to have different scuffles with different people. So I finally found, I feel like a lot of my songs are just me being sad or yearning or whatever. And I was just like, you know what? No. Like,
That was a talk your shit record. That was
if people want me to be mean, let me be a little mean.
No, that was honestly, I wasn't sure. No, the story behind it, that lines up perfectly with exactly what I was like. Oh no, she really. I thought it was just a little, a little exaggeration. No, she really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, y'all listen. I'm not even gonna say too much. Just listen. If this comes out, I don't know when June 6th is. I have no concept of time. But if this comes out, I'll put a snippet in it and just use both of your ears at the same time. Y'all, I know some of y'all be listening with your right ear and your left ear separate time. Just use both of your ears and your brain. Music has quality. Music has quality.
Thank you.
Speaking of, because I'm fanning out now. We gotta talk about all the songs.
Oh my gosh.
I don't care how much there are. There's
I'm done.
quality
Okay.
to it. Never thought about it.
Yes.
Okay, so hold on, I got a little note. So never thought about it. If I'm understanding it right, it's about a summer fling that you don't want to get feelings attached to, but you're in denial.
Every memory of some intricate intimacy. 'Cause you know I'm only ever really craving one thing with no strings attached. 'Cause you're leaving and I don't expect you back. I've never thought about it. I'm only good for one thing. That's a fleeting summer romance.
It's like me being delusional to the max.
This is why, yes.
Yeah. So it's like the summer fling that I had in my head, you know? Basically, it's probably not really obvious, but it was about this boy. it was a really average size crush that I had on someone.
Yes.
And I remember I was just really into like the way that they looked and the way that they dressed themselves, whatever, their whole thing, right? And I remember I had wrote that song, or had started writing that song over the summer, because I was like, he was going away somewhere. And in my head, when I heard that he was going away, I was like, oh my God, he's going away and he's never coming back.
No, I understand. This is not delusional. This is real. This is
And
real.
I was like, no, like that's literally, this is the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. And I just start writing stuff where I'm just like, we would hang out and there would be like these little moments where I'm like, I know I'm not tweaking out right now. I'm not tweaking out right now. I can't be. And it was just like, at one point in time, like I did get over it and I was like, oh, whatever. Like, these are my friends. This is like a cool space, because also it was like, I'm friends with this person, so now I feel bad because I'm like, oh, you're here thinking we're having like a jolly good time, and I'm over here like, wow, like you're so cool and you're so smart. But yeah, so summer happens, they go away and they come back. And then I remember it was also just like, even though it is specifically about one person, I do have other moments where like I look at my friends and I'm just like, wow, like what would our life be together?
Yes.
And then again, I feel bad. So the whole song is just about those kind of moments where I'm just like, oh, there's like, I feel this, but no, like I've never thought about it. I'm never going to think about it because that is just so no. And yeah,
Yes.
I wish I could have gone more into depth. I've been thinking about like making an extended version.
Oh my gosh.
But the song is already really long, so.
I got it. But yes, no, I hear never thought about it, and I'm seeing the coming of age flick, all of that. Like it's you paint the picture very well.
It's so like teenage girls. 'Cause I wrote that right before my 20th birthday. Like that's the epitome of me being 19 and like, just I had a crush and that's it.
It's an interesting take on like the idea of like just the summer fling, because it's like the whole song you're just saying that you really like, no, I don't know what you're thinking about, but that's not no, I'm not sitting here fantasizing about what
like you're crazy
Exactly.
actually. I would never think about it. You're thinking about it all the time.
I'm like, yeah, but and usually it's people that the music, it's people fantasize. They show that fantasy. You're describing it and then completely backstepping like, but that'd be crazy if someone did think about like that. So anyways, no, it's perfect. And I really like your style, your storytelling ability. It's really nice.
Thank you.
What motivates you to make just music to keep going?
My friends. Genuinely, I've thought about quitting music so often, and it's just one of those things where every day I wake up and I'm just like, okay, well, not every day. They're not hitting me up every day, being like, so Rayna.
They wake up this morning like, good morning, release a song.
Yeah. Oh my God, I wish. But it's like, I think I am so grateful to have like such a supportive, not even friend group, just like a supportive atmosphere. All of my colleagues, my friends, my family, my dad, obviously my parents have always wanted me to be a teacher or a lawyer, you know, like the American dream. But they are just so, ever since I started releasing music, like they'll come up to me when I'm eating breakfast and they'll be like, so how many streams do we have? They're just so, I'm very, very grateful to be waking up and then when I want to quit, I have someone being like, no, but you got this. Like, this is gonna happen for you.
Yeah. Well, I guess that does cover the next question. Was going to be any doubts that you have, like about making music? How you kind of touched on it both ways that way. But if you have anything to add about,
I think my doubts are always like, obviously, I think everyone has the idea of, oh, what if it doesn't work out? But I feel like if you love something enough, you're not gonna let that stop you. Like, I make music, obviously, you know, a part of me is always like, so is this one gonna blow up? Yes, I don't know. But at the same time, it's like, I write music because it's like my biggest comfort. It's like my best friend. I do it because I love it. But I feel like when it comes to doubts, it's just like, I didn't start early. You know, I started releasing music 2 years ago, and I don't even know how to play an instrument. I tried learning the guitar. I'm still trying, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I feel like there are so many people that have gotten so far already, and I'm just like, I try telling myself, you know, like, you're taking it on your own pace, like, you'll be fine. But it is a little stressful sometimes.
Yeah. What's one thing that you want for yourself going forward, like in the future? What do you see, like, you achieving? It could be small, it could be really big, you know, it could be just like releasing more or anything of sorts.
I've thought about it a lot. I just want to perform live. I feel even if it's in a crowd of like, you know, 20 people, 25, we're pushing it. But I just feel like I've always had this dream of the, you know, like how, again, 2000s pop stars, they'd have a stage and they'd have like their choreography and their matching clothes. I've always wanted that. And even if it's for a small crowd, I just feel like if I am able to put on a cute outfit and then do my little dance, that's what I want.
Nice. You see that live reaction of people hearing your music for the first time.
That's so scary, but
It is. It's daunting, but I feel like once I was gonna say I've never. We're not gonna talk about the past me before I picked up the camera, but when I was in front of the mic at one time, you know, it is. I just look at the back of the audience, at the back of the wall, and then you start seeing people kind of get with it, groove with it. I don't know. It's kind of an exchange of vibes. I don't know how to describe it, but it could be scary. A lot of things in life are scary. Are you gonna let it stop you? Exactly, precisely. And with that being said, we're gonna come to our close.
My name is Rayna Matiaz, and this is just the start. Remember, siempre en tu corazón.
Nice, and that's a wrap.